Hi everyone, welcome back. When we read the story of Jonah, we read of a man who was called by God to go and bring a word of warning to the people of Nineveh. They were not Jewish, and Jonah felt he couldn't do it. He felt they were untouchables and that God should have no interest in the people of Nineveh. It was unthinkable. So he ran away and took a ship to sail to Tarshish. And I'm sure you know the story. A storm came up, and when the people on the boat feared for their lives, Jonah confessed that the storm was from God and that he was responsible. So they threw him overboard. And the Bible tells us that he was swallowed by a fish. And you can imagine what it was like for him to be in the belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. And finally, when he cries out to the Lord, he says, "Those who cling to worthless idols forfeit the grace that could be theirs. But I, with a song of thanksgiving, will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed, I will make good. Salvation comes from the Lord." And with that heart of repentance and brokenness, he is vomited out onto dry earth. And he is just a mere 3 days journey from the city of Nineveh. And he goes to that city and he brings the message of judgment, and not believing that anything will take place, and then goes and sits on a hill and thinks, well, I'm a man from nowhere, nobody really knows me, I've brought this word of judgment, and now I'm just going to wait here until they all rise up in anger and kill me. And then is completely surprised when the whole city repents and turns to God. And he is angry once again, and he runs away, and he just says, this is not right, this is not fair. Why should these things happen? So when I look at the story of Jonah, I need to realize that if God is requiring something of me, whether I understand it or not, whether it makes sense or not, I need to be willing to obey. Very often we look at natural situations, look for natural results, things that seem to have a good feeling, things that make sense to us, things that are logical. And yet in the story of Jonah, we see that it's not the case. What God required of Jonah to do was illogical, was almost unbiblical in a sense. And yet when Jonah did it, God blessed and there was revival. So God is looking for that attitude of heart where we're not ruled by our heads and our thinking, but we have the simple desire to walk in his obedience. May the Lord help us. God bless.